It's pretty cool to be back in Toronto. We just played a bunch of festivals across like Europe and South America and stuff, so it's great to be back in Toronto and play a festival. I mean, the hometown crowd is always the best crowd, right? Yeah.
So just kind of, going off that, you played EBC, you were at Tomorrowland, you played Ultra, you played here. How would you say the crowd differs from, I guess, Toronto and just kind of different countries?
It's the crowd here in Toronto is like it's really good. Like same with Europe too. Like Europe and North America, like they're both really good. But I think like with Toronto, it's a lot better even for us too because we're from here. So like I think people go extra hard when we play. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and we have more more freedom in Toronto because there's a scene for everything in Toronto. Like we played hip hop in the middle of our set today, just because we know that works in Toronto. You don't really have the freedom to do that in other cities, but since it's Toronto and everybody kind of likes anything here, it works.
So I mean, you guys did start off. You guys started DJing because of Tiesto, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I started DJing first. So I got the equipment while I first off play, so that we just kind of inspired to start DJing.
So I mean, but now you guys are working with them. So how does that feel? What was the whole process behind that?
I mean, it just kind of happened. It progressed over some years. We started playing our music, and then we kind of met people who knew him, who introduced us to him, and over time we just became good friends. And now, we work on a daily basis with him, so it's awesome.
It's awesome. But you guys, when you first started, I think it was about 2012, right?
Oh no, well maybe that's when we first started appearing on the scene, I guess. But we've been DJing since 2008. Now our first Beatport release was actually in 2009, so it was a long time ago.
So just going off that, right now it's 2002, so it has been a couple of years, but EDM music as a whole has been growing. Do you think it's been good positive thing, or what do you see in the EDM and how EDM has grown since the beginning until now?
Yeah, I think the EDM scene has grown it's from what it was 10 years ago to now, it's night and day. But I think it's a good thing, and a lot of people are saying how it's so mainstream and stuff. But I think when people ever say something went mainstream, it just means that it just got a lot bigger. You know what I mean? So if Justin Bieber is doing a song with Skrillex and Diplo, it's you know what? It's a big deal. Justin Bieber's talented. He can sing. He can write. You know what I mean? So it's having a guy like Justin Bieber, which in my opinion is probably the biggest artist in the world, on an EDM song. So many other people that I've never heard of it, or even just regular people who know Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? And it's not even just girls, it's people in their 18 to 50, mothers and stuff. They hear the EDM song, they see who Jack is and stuff like that, and they search them up.
Yeah.
And it's it brings it to a whole different way.
Yeah, and basically what it does is like you're saying, it introduces it to a whole new scene who never would have discovered it. But the underground stays intact. If people want to listen to the underground stuff, they still have it. And it's funny because the underground stuff just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I mean, the underground people who are hating on the mainstream, there's really no point in that because it's just feeding into their own scene. So I mean, even the underground scene is getting way bigger than it was. I mean, we used to listen to techno 6-7 years ago. We used to go to parties with 200 people. Those parties now have 4,000 people. You know what I mean? It's growing everywhere. So it's amazing.
So when it comes to festivals, what makes you guys want to see a certain act? Because there's so many different acts playing at once. Is it more kind of the music or just how they interact with fans? What's most important to you?
So what kind of music?
Just I guess a EDM festival, just any festival.
Yeah, well the thing is a lot of the times our friends will be playing shows a lot and stuff like that. So
what about discovering new artists?
Yeah, it's always great to go and see guys that you've heard tracks from, and I mean we will play tracks from people that we don't really know very well, and if we see that they're on the same lineup as us, we'll go check them out and see what they're playing. And it's always cool to this might sound kind of cheating, but to go watch their shows and kind of pick up on some of the things that they're doing that you can introduce into your own show. For example, when we used to go see guys like Showtech and stuff, their crowd interaction is unbelievable. So we've tried to incorporate a lot of that in our sets recently, especially in festival sets, because they interact so well with the crowd, and the vibe is so extreme the whole way through that it inspires us to do the same kind of thing.
So we're all about the extra mile, whether that be in music or just kind of anything in life. How do you guys do the extra mile?
I think in terms of going the extra mile in music, I know that we basically will use the same sound set for about 6 months, and then we'll kind of scrap that sound set after 6 months and go with a completely different kind of sound. So our productions are always kind of progressing, and I guess that's how we go the extra mile, because there's guys who have been producing the exact same song for 3 years. our sound is always progressing. Like the stuff that we were putting out 6 months ago is completely different from the stuff that we're going to be putting out 6 months from now. It's like a very different thing. So we're always just trying to change it up.
Anything you want to add in?
Yeah, you basically said it.
Basically got it all. Alright, is there anything, final last words you guys want to say to your fans?
I mean, fans in Toronto, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was
Val
awesome,
was
yeah.
insane. Thank you guys so much for coming out. But I mean, in terms of like fans everywhere else in the world, we're gonna do a lot of brand new music coming out over the next like 6-7 months. Especially some tracks that we really think are gonna be our biggest songs. So really look out for that, and just stay in touch with us on our social media.
Oh, awesome. Thank